Hello, my friends. In today's story, we are going to learn a powerful lesson about life. Life can be tough, but it is even tougher when you are too big to run fast or too small to defend yourself. This is the sad story of an elephant who was both big and slow, and the stray dog who was both small and weak. Let's see how their friendship helped them to overcome their weaknesses. This is Tembo the elephant. He was a gentle giant with a big heart, but everyone in the jungle laughed at him because he was too big and slow. Tembo tried his best to keep up with the other animals, but he was so clumsy that he would often trip over his own feet and end up lying on the ground in a heap. The other elephants would trumpet and say, "Look at Tembo, the silly elephant. He is so big, and yet he is slower than a snail. No wonder he has never had a girlfriend." Ha ha ha! Tembo felt very sad whenever they laughed at him, but he couldn't do anything about it. After all, he was an elephant. It wasn't in their nature to be quick and agile. One day, Tembo was walking through the jungle when he heard some strange noises. It sounded like a small animal squealing and some bigger animals growling and snarling. Tembo was curious, so he decided to go and have a look. When he got closer, he saw a group of monkeys and a small dog in the middle of them. The monkeys were making fun of the dog, who was trying to climb up a tree. They said, "Hey, you are too small and weak to climb that tree. Give up, little dog. You are such a disgrace to your family." The poor dog did not say anything. He just kept trying to climb higher and higher. Tembo didn't want to join the other elephants and laugh at the dog, but what could he do? As he stood there watching, the dog suddenly slipped and fell down. Before Tembo could even blink, he rushed forward and caught the dog in his trunk. Tembo then walked over to the tree and dropped the dog gently on the ground. The dog looked up at Tembo with gratitude in his eyes, but the monkeys continued to jeer. "Ha ha! You may be big, elephant, but you are also super slow. By the time you get somewhere, the party is over. No wonder you live alone. You are too big and slow for your own good." Tembo ignored them and turned to the dog. "Are you hurt?" he asked. The dog shook his head and said, "Thank you for saving my life, Mr. Elephant. I am very lucky to have a friend like you." Tembo blushed and said, "Don't mention it. I couldn't just watch you fall and get hurt. But why don't you come with me? We can be friends." The dog's tail started wagging furiously. "That would be great, Mr. Elephant," he said. "I've always wanted a friend like you." From that day on, the elephant and the dog became the best of friends. They played together every day, and Tembo would even let the dog ride on his back. The other animals in the jungle were very surprised to see an elephant and a dog being friends. They had never seen anything like it before. They started whispering to each other, "What is Tembo thinking? Why is he friends with a little dog? It's not like he needs protection, right? Or maybe the dog is protecting Tembo from the other animals." Ha ha ha! Tembo didn't care what the others thought. He was happy with his new friend, and that was all that mattered. But one day, the other animals' laughter turned into screams of terror. A big, fierce tiger had entered the jungle, and he was looking for something to eat. All the animals ran away from him as fast as they could, except for Tembo and the dog. Tembo froze in fear when he saw the tiger approaching him. He knew that if the tiger caught him, he would be in big trouble. But then he remembered the dog. The dog was small and agile, so he might be able to escape from the tiger. But what could Tembo do to help? As the tiger got closer and closer, the dog suddenly jumped off Tembo's back and ran towards the tiger. Tembo was very scared, but he couldn't help but feel a little proud of his brave little friend. The tiger was taken aback by the dog's sudden attack. He had not expected such a small animal to dare challenge him, but the tiger was hungry and he wasn't in the mood for games. He swatted the dog away with his paw, and the dog yelped in pain. Tembo couldn't stand by and watch his friend get hurt, so he did the only thing he could think of. He swung his trunk and hit the tiger on the nose. The tiger roared in anger and turned to face Tembo. Now Tembo was in even more trouble than before, but he didn't care. He was willing to risk his own life to save his friend. The tiger charged towards Tembo, but the dog was quicker than the tiger had anticipated. He dodged the tiger's claws and bit him on the leg. The tiger screamed in pain and surprise. He had never been bitten by a dog before. He shook his leg violently to try to get the dog off, but the dog held on tight. Tembo used this chance to hit the tiger again, this time on the chest. The tiger was too stunned to react. He collapsed on the ground and passed out. Tembo and the dog had won. The other animals came out of their hiding places and cheered. "Well done, Tembo, well done, little dog. You are the heroes of the jungle." Tembo and the dog looked at each other and smiled. They had proven that size doesn't matter when you have a friend by your side. From that day on, no one laughed at Tembo for being slow and clumsy, or at the dog for being small and weak. They were all proud of their courage and their strong friendship. They had shown everyone in the jungle that even the most unlikely of friends can become heroes if they work together. So, my friends, no matter what you look like or how slow you are, never lose hope. Just like Tembo, you may be big and strong enough to protect those who need your help. And just like the dog, you may be small and clever enough to find a way out of any difficult situation. The most important thing is to always stay true to yourself and never give up on your friends. If you do, you will be unstoppable. And that is the end of the story. Now tell me in the comments below, what did you like the most about the story? Also, please like the video and share it with your friends. And that's all for today. See you next time.